Welcome to another movie. So we are back with my favorite, and that is trying to repair something. Of course, as you can know already from the title, I will try to fix this drone. First, what's the story? My friend's sister boyfriend, yes, it's so complicated, buy this drone. Is the DJI Phantom 1, is one of the first ones, and of course he was flying and probably took some crashes, and the drone was not working properly. I don't know, did not know what the full story is and what the full problem is on this one, but he told it's not working. He asked me if I can repair it. I told him yes, why not. So he bring it to me, and I tested it and ordered some parts, of course, and now I will try to repair. But about the drone, later, what did I get? I get the radio. You may of course see it's the first DJI, just because there is no iPhone, no iOS connection, just two switches, and that's all. Of course, I get the landing gear. I just took it off just because I needed to check what's inside. On one of the legs there is a GPS that's in here. Yes, it's in here. I got the propellers, about that later, and I got this magic bag from the Absolute. Interesting. That's full of some stuff other, like the charging cable. There is a charger in the box, probably original, hard to say, doesn't say any DJI on it, it's maybe universal, and fuel batteries. So one of the batteries I already threw out because it was tough, really hard. I tested batteries on the charger, and this tool seems to still work, so I need some for the test, because the size of the battery is specific for this model, so that's why I needed to have two. So this one of them is still quite working, so I don't remember which one is which, but probably he will still need to get new batteries. So this and this to the side, this also to the side. The remote is not needed for now. Now about the propellers. That was the first problem I found. First of all, look at how they look. So of course this one is a trash, this one is a trash. Let me see, this one is still not so bad. Most of them are really bad. This one is also trash. So if you fly drones and you think this is still okay, no, it's not, because propeller needs to be properly balanced, and that's the weight between this one, this blade and this blade. If there is something like that and it's missing even a gram, this thing will start to vibrate, and you will lose control of the drone. Probably you will start to spin on something, spin and shake or something like that. So these propellers are still bad. So let's say this one is still not so bad, but of course I will not use this. The second problem is, when I took this drone, I don't remember the color, let me show you. There are two types of propellers. As you can see, one is silver, one is black market, and those are two different propellers. On the drones, two motors spin in one direction and two motors spin in second direction. So there is a clockwise rotation and counterclockwise rotation, and that's how the propellers are set. They are set in different angle. So what I found is that the three propellers was, let's say, black, and one was gray, was silver. That means someone tried to screw down the wrong propeller on it and destroy the probably the thread on the propeller, not on the motor, but we could not get it, and we tried to hold it, and if I remember, we scratched a little bit one of the motors, and that also will not make it will get it not balanced, and the motors will vibrate. So two motors, so probably this one is, yes, this one is sorry, the wrong one. This one is rotating like this to screw it inside, and this one is probably damaged. This one is damaged. I think that was that motor with the damaged yes, as you can see, this one is not screwing inside, this one is not screwing inside, this one is screwing weirdly, and this one is also not screwing. So that guy broke the thread on the motors, and there is no way to put propellers on those. I don't know if the propellers are damaged, but as you can see, I can really easily put it almost all the way. So that means the motors are need to be replaced. And the second thing I found, here are two antennas. I don't know how good you can see that, but there is something missing on this one. So if you think that this is antenna, no, it's not. Also, this is also not a antenna. Antenna is just this part on the end. It means there is no antenna in here. Of course, drone will still work, but it will just use one antenna. If it's lose signal, it will just lose the signal, and I have to say, probably turn off the motors. I don't know what how it's set up. Another thing is that all the screws on this thing is rusted. I don't know if he keep this drone in a basement, in water or something like that, but that's a disaster when it's about the electronic. Okay, so that's what the problems are. What I have is, I have 4 new motors. Let me get them all. Sadly, that's how they send it, and these packs really like to open it really easily. Of course, I have a counterclockwise and clockwise rotation. That's why they have caps. They of course support the original DJI propellers, but also have a cap to screw normal propellers, so you can still replace it. I have 2 with silver caps, 2 with black caps. It means 2 with counterclockwise rotation and 2 with clockwise rotation. And I have new propellers. Sadly, I by mistake ordered the black ones. There should be white ones. These ones are a little bigger than the old ones. I get the propellers matching these motors, and they told is in the description that this one don't know what's the number on it, but as far as I could see, it's the motors that are designed. Let me see, a Mach, no, it's on in here, 84, let me get the light in here, 94 43, and these ones are 8045. So these ones are bigger and have less jump or bigger jump. Maybe it's No, it's 44, 55. It's hard to read that. It's 94, 43 look like. So they are bigger but should work the same, but still it's designed for this motor that are in there. If I can screw them. I wonder just if I can screw it. No, it's designed for this one, I think. No, it's not holding. I don't want to strip the thread on those, so that's why we have new motors, we have new propellers. Open this thing, show you what's inside. So box is universal because I can clearly see there is a yes, there is a cross mount hole in there. So these motors are a replacement for DJI, so it's dedicated for this propellers also. It's right, and that's all. Actually, I really prefer to have a color propellers, not a white ones. Why? Because you can see where the propeller ends when it's flying next to people or something like that. So that's much more safe than using any color ones. And now the only problem is that DJI drones, let me open it, don't use banana connectors. They are just soldered to the ESC, so I will need to unscrew the ESC, lift it up and cut the heat shrink from the cable and unsolder the connectors, just because the cables are really short on this one, and it will barely get into the ESC, so I cannot cut off the connectors, and that's not a big problem because you just need to put it in the holder, put a heat on it and just took off the cable, and that's not a big problem. The screws are in the box, so I replaced the screws, but I have new ones dedicated with the specific length for the motor base. The direct replacement only. The problem is this, and that's the only problem. Other stuff is really the same. Okay, so now let me start by taking off this connector. So I will not film it, I will just put in my special holder station for the connectors, cut the heat shrink, heat it up with my soldering iron, and just took the cable off. Maybe I will already put it inside because that's also nothing, not much to see in there. I will try to match the colors as they have, because it's black, this one is blue, this one is red, and see if the rotation will be the same. Also I will need to match the direction like the original motors have. So let me do that. We'll get back when I will done with that, and I will show about the antenna. Day 2. And we are back in another day. As you can see, the drone is mostly completed. First thing is that I talked with my friend, and I now know the full story about this drone. So that guy, the owner of this drone, took his friends and go into the mountains, and they got drunk, and he tried to fly the drone and crash it somewhere in the mountains, and they could not find it. It's obviously if they were drunk, and they leave it in there, and they get back in after 1 year, and they found this drone. It was laying somewhere, so they took it. As far as my friend last time talk about it, someone replaced the motors, and he did not match the motors correctly. As far as I can understand, it looks like someone was soldering it. It did not. It did quite good job, but still, that was not matched as it should be. So now the motors are soldered. Let me open it up. The cables were just a little bit longer than they should be, so that's not a big problem. I did use my, sorry, not mine, I haven't buy some cheap toothbrushes without the cream, and just clean it with the alcohol, because probably the moisture was on the ESCs. And actually the motors are connected. I just write it how they were connected about the colors. Only the yellow one was blue on the original motor. Oops. On the original motors there was just blue with much bigger cables. Hard to know why. Let me sorry. So I took, as you can see, all the connectors. I just put it in my soldering connector soldering station. There's always a hole on one side. You just need to put soldering iron and you can just take it off. So that was quite easy. I clean out the bottom part, all those lamps under it, and actually it's almost ready now. So as you may see, it's hanging in here. I put on the two antennas. Antennas are connected in here. The ones that are now inside, those are from the flysky radio. I took it out, and they are exactly the same as far as I can see. Of course, antenna is just this end, and it needs to have the correct length, so this ones will just be thrown out, because or maybe now not. I will just cut it out because I can still use it as an antenna. Just need to measure the end. They are just connected in here. I just needed to take out the rubbers in here, and actually I'm almost ready to test it out. So the only thing that left me to do is to put heat shrink on these antennas, because I need to protect it. I will check on the internet, but probably will not be a problem to put much longer heat shrink to protect it. If he destroyed the antenna last time, I will do my best to protect from that. Then it will just be connected with the zip tie, secured in here on both sides. Antennas need to be set like this, just because the range, let me get the second antenna. The range from the antenna itself, so this is the antenna, it's like this. So both antennas are set like this. If the drone is designed to make some flips, rotation, one antenna should be set like this, because if this antenna will lose signal, still this one will have. But this drone doesn't do any flips and stuff like that, because they only filming. So the antenna, both antennas are set like this. So I will do the same exactly as on the original, and that probably will be the end, but still I need to clean the screws, because there is rust on them. I will just take out my sanding paper and sand them out, and it will be ready. So I don't know if I will be able to show it in this movie. I don't think so, because it's winter, so it's raining all the day. It's no snow for us, but it's raining, so I'm not able to make any filming outside now, but we will test it out. I think I will use this mount and mount my Eken camera under it, just to see how it's looking from the air. It should not be a big problem. I have those frames for the camera, so I can mount it not upside down but with normal rotation, and I will show that. So if I did that, you may see it in here in this moment. If not, sorry, I was not able to do that, or I just forget about that. So that's all for this movie. I will try to show this, but of course I will test it because I need to. So that's all. See you in the next movie.